Are you looking for a new challenge in Football Manager 23? Whether you've been doing a Road to Glory or a Journeyman save or any other type of save that you regularly enjoy, sometimes we need something a little bit different when it comes to Football Manager, in particular just to spice the game up a little bit. So I've gone out and I've found 5 obscure challenges that you can attempt with Football Manager 2023. So before we get started, I think it's important to note that these obscure challenges that I found are all based off an article that I did write for Dictate, the game website, a few months ago. So this is an article that I produced going over different types of saves that people could try out if they ever get bored or they're just looking for a new challenge on FM. So without further ado, going through these different obscure challenges, we are going to start with the first one, and one that I feel is a little favourite of mine that I will want to attempt at some point in the future: the Curse of Bela Gutman. Now, Bela Gutman was known as the Wandering Hungarian, a manager who throughout the 40s, 50s and 60s wandered across different clubs as a manager in Europe and South America. And the club he had the most success at was SL Benfica in Portugal. Now, Benfica is a team that Bela Gutman actually beat to the Portuguese title with Porto in the late 50s before Benfica did hire him, and over the next 3 or 4 years Bela Gutman did bring a lot of success to the club. They won the Portuguese title in, I think it was 1959, before winning the Champions League, or then the European Cup, in 1961 and 1962, breaking the stranglehold of Real Madrid in the early days of the European Cup. But it was after the 1962 triumph that Gutman fell out with the Benfica board. Allegedly falling out with the board over pay and bonuses, Gutman left the club and, according to legend, claims that not in 100 years will Benfica ever be European champions. And in all fairness, it has been over 60 years since he has made that claim, and Benfica have never had a European triumph since 1962. As you can see, last Champions League / European Cup victory was in 1962, and the story has been one of woe for Benfica ever since. They've lost 5 European Cup finals since 1962. They've also lost in the Europa League final 3 times: 1983, 2013 and 2014. They've not tasted any European success since the days of Bela Gutman, and that is where you come in. Can you break this curse that has seemingly been placed upon Benfica and bring them the European glory that they so desire? Break the curse of Bela Gutman, bring Benfica the European success that they deserve. Job done in this challenge. Now, for this next challenge, it involves us going over to England for the Peaky Blinders challenge. Now, this challenge involves, of course, Birmingham City, who currently sit in the Championship, and many people may remember the TV series called The Peaky Blinders, a TV show that was based on a historic gang in the city who ran in like the late 19th century, who apparently had a fondness for actually going to Birmingham City matches, because apparently there are photos of them at Birmingham City games. If I can find one, I'll include it in the video, but this is where the challenge comes in. When you take over Birmingham City, you have to use players who have an aggression of at least 15. So if we head over to Birmingham on Football Manager, you can see a couple of players here who I've identified who are actually quite ideal for you. Troy Deeney has an aggression of 16, perfect for your squad, especially as a target forward. Very English-esque, and it's going to be something that will serve you well in just brutalising defences. Lukas Jukovic, also a target forward for Birmingham, aggression of 17. These are the sort of players that you want to have in your squad for this challenge. Your aim is to not only have players of 15 and above in aggression, but also get Birmingham into the Premier League, and also go an entire Premier League season unbeaten. Now, anybody who's played in the Premier League on Football Manager, you'll know exactly how tough it is to even win the Premier League, let alone to go an entire season unbeaten. But that's the joy of this challenge. A very tasty one to sort of get your teeth into, and just like with your players, you're going to want to get stuck in. In addition, don't forget to play with high pressure and high pressing against your opponents. It fits in well with the aggression. Now this third challenge is going to be a little bit different to everything else. It is called the Jackson 5, based on the Jackson 5, of course featuring Michael Jackson before he went famous as a solo artist. They had a hit single called ABC. I'm not going to include a clip of that song because I don't want the copyright from YouTube. Now, as much as this one is before my time, and I'm guessing before a lot of yours as well, your challenge is within the top 5 leagues, you must win those top 5 divisions in Europe with a club starting with either A, B or C, start in that chronological order. So that would be the Premier League in England, La Liga in Spain, Serie A in Italy, the Bundesliga in Germany, and Ligue 1 in France. So for example, it could look like this. Atalanta you could start with in Serie A, you could win that. Moving on to Atletico Madrid in La Liga, Brest in Ligue 1, winning the title with them in France, then Bayern Munich in Germany to win the Bundesliga, and then moving on to say Chelsea in the Premier League and winning what could be the last of all 5 European divisions. The order you go in is completely up to you. It's up to you where you start, as long as you start with the letter A in a team in one of those top 5 divisions. The order you go in is up to you, but these are the rules and the criteria that you must follow in order to complete this challenge. And just like in the example that I gave, it doesn't matter if you move to a club with the same starting alphabetical letter, just as long as it's in chronological order from A, B and C. And you can only apply to a different job once you've won the league in your chosen country. So you can't be using the game editor here, unfortunately, nor be putting in speculative applications for clubs who may suit the criteria. Finish up in one league and then move on to the next. Now the fourth challenge that we're coming across here is something called Team Dynamics. If anybody's ever played FIFA, Ultimate Team in particular, they'll know all about team dynamics and chemistry, where you have to match up players of the same league and the same country in the same areas of the pitch or areas adjacent to where those players are. If you've never played FIFA, don't worry, I'm going to be explaining it here anyway. So within your chosen club in any country in the world, doesn't matter where it is, you must form partnerships between players in specific zones of the pitch. Now this is to be done by using the same nationalities for all the players in a certain area of the pitch. For example, your goalkeepers and 2 centre backs could all 3 of them could be Dutch. Your 2 or 3 midfielders, depending on your formation, could all be English. Your 2 strikers could be Spanish, for example. If I'm able to find a picture of what I'm trying to illustrate here, I will include this on the screen just to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to different areas of the pitch. Same nationalities for those players in all different areas of the pitch. The nationalities you choose are completely down to you. It doesn't matter what nationalities they are, just as long as your starting players and your substitutes and reserves in those same positions are all of the same nationality. And you cannot repeat nationalities in different areas of the pitch. So for example, you can't have Dutch players in central midfield and as strikers or as wingers as well. They must all be different nationalities across these different areas of the pitch. Regardless of which formation you choose, this is the rule. So it effectively puts paid to trying to put out 11 Brazilian wonder kids in one squad. That's actually a big no-no with this challenge. It sounds harder than it actually is, but once you get started, it will become easier to figure out what nationalities you actually want. And the final challenge is a little bit of a cheat here, but it still provides you with a completely unique challenge that only you are going to be able to actually do, which is called the Random Generator. Now this is based on a website that I found through Google that allows as it says in the name, a random challenge for you to complete. Now as you can see, this is the Random Generator website, of which the link will be down in the description. I'm just going to click this little button here for Generate Idea, and it comes up with a completely random challenge for me to complete. You will manage bursts of sport, initially using a 4-2-1-3 formation, and my ethos is to do as little work as humanly possible. You're lazy, your staff can deal with it all, transfers, training, media, all of it. Take charge of games and absolutely nothing else. I'll tell you what, that actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. I might actually give that a try at some point. So sometimes these can be just absolutely random, downright terrifying for some people to even attempt, but that's the fun of Football Manager. There is no limit as to what you can actually try challenge wise. And again, as much as this is a little bit of a cheat, this is something that can just generate absolutely anything for you to attempt. And unless it gives you a specific club, it would be for any club in any country in the entire game. There are loads of obscure challenges and something a little bit different for everybody to attempt in Football Manager, and with FM23 coming to an end and FM24 on the horizon, this might be something to just give you that last little kick of spicing up the game before FM24 comes out. But thank you all so much for watching. If there's any challenges that you found or created yourself maybe, do let us know down in the comments. That would be amazing to actually read about, and maybe something that will inspire somebody to go and give a try. Please also remember to hit the like button and also smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss more of these one-off videos that will be coming up on the channel over the next few weeks hopefully, as well as the ongoing Let's Play series where currently I'm trying to win League On with RC Lons. Make sure you don't miss that. Thank you all so much for watching, thank you all for your support on the channel so far, and look forward to seeing you all in the next video.